Press the bell icon on the YouTube app to never miss a video from News Laundry.
Welcome to News Laundry Chhota Hafta. For the full episode, subscribe because it is behind the paywall and only subscribers get access to uncut, complete content. News Laundry Hafta is our weekly wrap of all that made the news, all that didn't, and all that should have and all that shouldn't have. We agree, we disagree, we critique, and occasionally we beat each other up. But it's all good fun. Subscribe.
This is a News Laundry podcast and you're listening to NL Hafta.
Hello and welcome to News Laundry Hafta. This is Abhinandan Sekhri with my slogan, Angrez Apna Lagan, or News Laundry Apna Hafta, Kabhi Nahi Chhodte. Today on the Hafta, we have an in-house panel and our guest is Kaveree Bamzai. Hi Kaveree.
Hello.
Kaveree is an Indian journalist. We make sure that Indian journalists, because we have so many international journalists on Hafta, right Karthik? With more than 30 years of experience. She's worked with India Today, the Indian Express, the Times of India. Until recently, she was consulting editor for special projects in India Today. But you were also editor there for a while, right, Kaveree?
Yeah, 3 years.
For 3 years, yeah.
Very unfortunate years.
Why?
Which ended with Modi coming to power.
Oh dear, okay.
2014.
So that was the climax.
Yes.
And she writes regularly for The Print. She's the author of Bollywood Today.
Yes.
And 2 monographs on Madhuri Dixit and Sara Bano.
My God, your bio is very thorough.
What is a monograph?
A monograph is part of a series that we did with Urvashi Butalia Kali for Press on women in Indian cinema. It was really actually quite fascinating. So we had a whole 10 women actors that we wrote about.
So welcome Kaveree.
Thank
Good
you.
to have you on the Hafta. We've been trying to get you here for a long time, but
Yes.
finally you're here.
Various reasons prevented me from airing my views in public.
Well, now you're free as a bird and you can air all the views you want. Also on our panel today is Anand Vardhan. Hi Anand.
Hello.
Have you been jogging, although the rain in Delhi has kept many people indoors?
No, I think it rained only once this week.
Oh, I see. Okay.
This has been pitter-pattering.
I see.
Obviously, you've been indoors all,
No,
all
Question
this
now you
week.
ask him every time you meet him.
I got
Every time
just
you
the
see me,
last 2
just ask.
weeks because I just got into town day before yesterday. I was out for like 4
Oh
days.
yeah, you were in Boston.
Then we have
what?
Manisha
Having
Pande.
fun.
I wasn't having
Hi.
fun. I was working like a dog, being exploited.
Sure.
Yes.
We believe that.
So Manisha Pande, the cynical lazy bones of News Laundry.
You know, even my mother started asking me this because she hears after she's like, "वो तो हमेशा घूमता ही रहता है ना." He's again gone to. I'm like, maybe I am really like creating this impression.
Yes, you are,
No.
clearly. And Raman Kirpal, a managing editor. Hi, Raman sir.
Hi.
You and Kaveree worked together in the past?
Yes.
Indian Express.
One of the disadvantages or advantages of having been around for so long is that I think I've worked with practically everyone. So there is no one left to work with anymore.
And that's your problem too, right, Raman sir? Every time we get a guest, you work with that person sometime or the other.
Most of them, yes.
So I think we're meeting after 25 years, 20 years.
25
At least,
years.
yeah, 25.
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Okay. Chalo. Nice reunion. Hafta is the nice place for reunion also. So I'll quickly get on with the headlines and then we will discuss as many of these as possible. And we have also a few mails from our subscribers, which I shall move. But first, the Pulwama attacks dominated news. In fact, they took place the day we recorded the last Hafta, if I'm not
Yeah.
wrong.
Yes.
We recorded in the
Yes.
morning and this happened in the afternoon,
3:30.
evening.
Yeah, 3:30 it
in the
happened. By
afternoon.
7 we started getting the
And in
enormity
fact,
of...
one of the subscribers who's mailed has said that even if you've recorded something in the morning and something this major happens in the evening, maybe you should add a few minutes, like a...
Yeah.
Because you can't, because people who hear it don't know you had recorded before it happened.
True.
So we have lots
Good
of
idea.
news related to that Pulwama and stemming from that, the France to move in a proposal at the UN to ban JIM chief Masood Azhar. Then Arun Jaitley's response to Imran Khan's comment, and Imran Khan's comment saying that we
Give
shall
us
retaliate
evidence,
if you
actionable
attack.
intelligence.
And Pakistani citizens asked to leave Bikaner in 48 hours or face prosecution. Ex-JNU leader Shehla Rashid has been booked for promoting enmity for a tweet. I find that bizarre. And the government has scrapped security for 6 separatists after Pulwama attack. I mean, okay. Maybe they should have done this a while ago. But then 22 arrested in Dehradun when a bunch of Dehradun students started shouting slogans, and some Dehradun college also said that we want all Kashmiri kids to go. The completely nutter Meghalaya governor Tadhagat Roy tweeted some shit about boycotting Kashmir and Kashmiris. And then Barkha Dutt, as in, in the wake of all this, she got a whole bunch of abuse and someone sent her a dick pic, which she posted on Twitter. I don't know how smart that was. And also related to this, I think Sidhu has finally been dropped from Kapil Sharma's show. Yeah. And Anil Ambani is guilty of contempt. We shall discuss that in a little bit, not too much detail, because I think Pulwama will dominate What else did we have this week?
We had Cobra Post come up with a new sting, Operation Karaoke, where they've stung 36 Bollywood celebrities, quote unquote, but they're really has-beens. KCR has expanded his cabinet. We can claim NL Hafta impact because right after the week we talked about it,
Yes.
it's now a 10-member cabinet and there are some 6 new faces.
In fact, this should not be NL impact. It should be the impact of the subscriber who had written to us
Yes.
saying that you guys have not discussed this issue for such a long time. And so we discussed it and KCR has reacted. Congratulations.
Times now. Humby times now.
Humby times now.
BJP and Shiv Sena announced alliance for Lok Sabha and Assembly polls. Supreme Court has rejected the centre's circular on advising journalists not to use the word Dalit, use the word scheduled caste. So Supreme Court has rejected that.
So what the Supreme Court rejected is that there was a plea challenging.
Challenging.
That
So they
order.
said go to the appropriate authority.
So they haven't said it's okay. They said we are not the people to come
they're
to.
saying don't come to us, which is surprising because otherwise they're
Go to
very
them for
happy
everything.
to intervene in anything and everything.
The Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, who's also known as Mr. Bonesaw, was
Okay.
I wonder
because
why.
Jamal Khashoggi.
We did.
No, but
Achha, you're being
That was meant to be
you're being sarcastic.
sarcastic.
So he was in India and there could be potential $100 billion deal investments.
Okay.
And he spoke about underlining the importance of banning terrorist organizations, imposing sanctions.
But he didn't mention
But it's
Pulwama.
all, he didn't mention Pulwama and it was all proposals and...
Nothing like
yeah,
the 20 billion
gone,
that he gave to Pakistan.
Also, there was that interview that Nidhi Razdan did on NDTV of the foreign minister of
Yes.
Saudi, which I'd like to discuss when we discuss
Who
this.
is actually directly supposed to be directly involved in the Khashoggi case.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, wow, he can lie with a straight face.
Oh,
man.
yes,
Anyway.
very straight face.
We have the Farmers' March again. This is the second long march organized by All India Kisan Sabha.
That kicked
which
off
is,
this morning.
Yeah, it's affiliated to the Communist Party of India. And this is because the earlier demands were not met. So they've marched again. And Kulbhushan Jadhav case, there was a 4-day public hearing at Hague where India has asked for a civilian court trial and to relook at the death
And
sentence.
Justice Salve was making his
he argued and
submissions.
Pakistan argued and then...
So we'll just get straight into the many issues that are related to the Pulwama attacks. As you know, last week there was this hideous attack in Jammu and Kashmir where now the death count is up to 44 if I'm not wrong. It was 43 and then one person died later. There was over 300 kilograms of explosive used. It was so powerful that apparently bodies flew 80 meters. That's huge. Some of the photographs that I've seen are sick, and I'm glad no
left
one's
of the bus.
they've
It was completely...
they haven't. I believe those photographs are being used in certain WhatsApp group to drum up passions, but
Flame passion.
yeah, but by and large media hasn't used them, which is a good thing.
People did use it. Television, I did see pictures being flashed. Not really gory ones.
Yeah,
but
but
the
the
sight
really
of
gory.
the
Not
thing,
the buckets and the legs.
The buckets and stuff
Those
weren't
were
used.
really
Those
ghastly.
were really ghastly. Yeah, exactly. What I would like to discuss is the following 3 rather. Sheila Rashid has been booked for promoting anonymity for tweeting that these Kashmiri girls are trapped and there's a mob outside shouting slogans. This completely insane governor who used to be the governor of Tripura, now he's been moved to Meghalaya, which is such a lovely state. Really, these people in Meghalaya must be wondering what the fuck have we got, or what is this guy?
Unfortunately, he gets along very well with the chief minister. Don't forget who's ruling Meghalaya.
Sure, of course.
So it's practically birds of the same feather.
I have
Not as crazy, but still.
So yeah, he's basically tweeted pretty much saying that we must boycott Kashmir and Kashmiris. So yeah, let me start with
and
you,
there have
Manisha.
been quite a few attacks also.
Yeah.
Rumors of attacks and real attacks and threats also. Some have been...
So there's just too much. Take a few minutes and tell me what you think of the coverage of these issues and which one should have got more and which one should have got less.
So the first 2 days of the coverage, I think the one thing that really hit you with this is that television media, which is supposed to be a more 24/7 sort of a medium, which has more sort of money maybe, I mean print is supposed to be dead and all that, didn't help at all with this attack in terms of basic information also. The first 2 days, every time I switched on television from 8 to 10, you'd have no information on what's happening. Just the same old debates and shouting matches, except India Today, CNN, and of course, I mean, Zee, Republic ki to baat hi chhod do. So newspapers did a far better job of telling us what happened, the mastermind, raising questions on how does 300 kgs of, explosive just go through undetected. So I was totally relying on print this time for any sort of information. And the television coverage was just, I mean, we've come to a point where we now accept that, okay, there will be propaganda. you will have sort of a right-wing channels like Republic and Z just drum up and say Pakistan Murdabad and all that. But it's come to a point where you can't even understand what the story is. There's no story being told to you. जैसे वो कहते हैं भूमिका बांधते हैं, बताते तो हैं हुआ क्या, वो भी नहीं बताया. It was just screaming matches and Tukre Tukre Gang must answer.
Tukre Tukre Gang came into this also, really?
The first day of Republic's debate was actually the same cast that they have usually. And then I want Umar Khalid to answer, I want Shela to answer. And traitors and possible traitors should be marked out and taken out of force. So this is the
Can
kind
you
of,
imagine?
these are the
Shocking.
things that were said on television, after which obviously then, I mean, you have this kind of drumming up happening on Z, on Hindi channels, on these channels. And then of course you have attacks, followed.
He's
very,
insane,
very
man.
natural sort of I wasn't surprised Kashmiris were targeted at all.
In fact, Z came up with the possible solutions. I mean, what next steps that the Indian government is going to take. So they were saying that they may attack in this way, they may attack in that. So they gave five ways of attacking Pakistan.
Yeah, but these, we say this often enough, and sorry, Anand, you haven't spoken, you come in after me. Times Now last night, I didn't watch it for the first few days because I wasn't here. I didn't watch TV. Also, when I came back yesterday, I went on Twitter and I saw some of the shit that people are saying. And people who, some of them I know, and I'm really ashamed to know those people. But Times Now had conclusive proof yesterday on this channel of dimwits that this is the, so I said, okay, please zoom into that text. There was some stupid text in some internal memo from one to the other. I'm like, guys, they think they are serving the nation. They're doing a disservice because we come across a nation of morons as idiots that this is compelling. So even when there is compelling evidence, they'll say, हाँ, हमने देखा था तुम्हारा Times Group का compelling evidence. That's your largest media organization. Na? I just think it's just so idiotic, the kind of shit that they do.
And this was a big attack. I think this is the second biggest attack after Dantewada on CRPF. That was 71, I think. There were 75 people.
This
in
is the
was
largest on Fauji's, and in Kashmir it's the biggest.
Yeah. So it was a really, really big story, which should have been really like, even if you want to take the sides of the soldiers, then the thing to do is to probably report on the men. I still haven't seen on television profiles of everyone. We did
a bunch.
You have a few bites of, the widows or when the ceremonies were carried out. But
And
there was
they
just no
don't-
information being given to you on what has happened. Like what has happened, what were the intelligence failures, who were the men. Just complete
Anand
vacuum.
sir, please come in. Where did you get your information and how good was it?
No, I think while these things, nobody has any monopoly on sanity. So things will swing between outrage and ridicule. So that's a given nowadays. So, but I think the main thing missing in the coverage was what are the compulsions of the Islamist terror infrastructure in Pakistan, which is behind the attacks. And when these kind of things happen, the audience and viewers are caught in like deers in the headlight, because I think average Indian reader or average Indian publication or TV channel or website is not that much interested in the world outside India. So it's only when it's related to India or something that has a bilateral angle, some action is seen, otherwise not. Now, there are 2-3 things which were interesting about the attack. And it can be seen as Pakistan's exercise to claim equity in Kashmir, because the internal terror infrastructure in Pakistan is such that the Al-Qaeda and IS, Islamic State, are pushing or coaxing the homegrown terror infrastructure groups like Jaish-e-Mohammed and Lashkar-e-Taiba to be more active and not be that parochial and take this as a civilizational war. Now, Pakistani state, the terror people scholars who study terror say that it is keen on 2 things. First, in Afghanistan, with the Trump's call for withdrawal of troops, the return of the Pakistani Taliban is there. Now, Pakistan has given 2 options to it. Either you go to Afghanistan. Pakistan didn't get the money from US but got the prize, that is Afghanistan, which gives it a strategic depth. Now, either you go to Pakistan or you rehabilitate a kind of ghar wapsi in Kashmir, get active in Kashmir, join Jaise Muhammad and be active there. But Al-Qaeda, the immediate threat is Al-Qaeda and Islamic State otherwise would occupy that space. So basically to reassert its primacy over the Kashmir dispute in general and Indian problem, and Kashmir dispute in particular and Indian problem in general. This is their way of establishing that we are in charge. You see the nature of attack means in Palestine this kind of pre-recorded video is there. Pre-recorded video ensures it's a kind of commitment video.
Now, coming to, Barkha Dutt was heavily trolled.
When these Kashmiri students were attacked, Barkha and along with a few other journalists said, we are opening our DMs. So any Kashmiri who needs help can stay with us.
Oh, I see.
So she opened up her DMs and she said, my number is available online. Anyone can call me. My home is free to all Kashmiri students who are either scared or who are being persecuted. After that, she started receiving messages on her DM. She started getting calls because I guess people figured out her numbers out there to just sort of start calling her.
She had threatening calls. Yeah. Someone sent her a dick pic that she posted on Twitter that this is the kind of abuse I'm getting. Twitter said we'll suspend your account, and it didn't suspend her account. Now it became one. So I think I think what's unfortunate, of course, is the kind of shit that one can't waste precious time talking about that because society will always have these gutter snipes. What I find unfortunate is that news professionals who we know kind of say, of course, I'm not saying it's okay what happened, but you have to reflect. No, you fucking don't have to reflect. That's like a bullshit response, and you're a fucking retard if you think you have to reflect because you got a dick pic. And it just shows how fucked up their heads are. And it's sad that our profession has so many people who have completely fucked up heads, and obviously they've had a horrible life. Either they've been fucking abused as kids, or they fucking are frustrated, or how the fuck can you endorse shit like this? You got to be a complete retard.
But you forget that media is a slice of our society. So unfortunately, it's reflecting what is out there.
But kuch to filters hota hai before you get a job.
No, unfortunately, there's no misogyny filter. There should be, but there is no misogyny filter. And
there's not misogyny, Kaveree. It's not even misogyny. Like, how can you say that? Matlab photo, kuch bhi bhej do yaar. Kuch
no,
threat.
but
because
were there
unfortunately,
journalists who kind of
of course,
yeah?
you
and it's interesting, Manisha, that she was not the only one to issue that statement. There were a lot of male journalists who did that. I don't know whether vagina pictures were sent to them. I suspect not. But that's one of the problems which is on social media.
And the kind of things she's getting. She's posted them, muh mein le le, haath mein le le, this kind of shit.
But it is,
and imagine just getting calls one after the other on this.
No, these guys are really...
I don't like mentioning them very often on this because they're such tuchas, these Open India, the bunch of buffoons who run that, Rahul and his, bunch of losers. Like they'll say that, he's retweeting stuff. Oh, maybe someone had rubbed that guy's nose on the ground. That's why he's turned into this, talking about the guy who sent his dick pic. I mean, as it is, you have the most tucha reputation. Like, aur bhi girana chahte ho apne aap ko, and then Piyush Goyal and all give these guys interviews. Not that I fucking want Piyush Goyal's interview, but the point is, it just tells you the caliber of the
But what do you expect when you have a governor in a position, a constitutional authority, also echoing the sentiment? So when you have this kind of behavior endorsed at the highest levels of government and the establishment, you will feel free. People will feel free to do this kind of thing.
Yeah, but I don't think Barkha should have posted that picture on Twitter. I mean, you are aware of the rules. You can't do that and then
that
start
is true.
cursing Twitter. She went at Twitter and started cursing Twitter.
No, but sometimes you need to shake people up and shock them into silence or action. You have to do something.
But then you'll be...
But
if you know that the rule is that if you post a picture such as that on Twitter, your account will be frozen. I mean, you know that. So how can you expect that not to happen? That's what I'm saying.
And much of it is automated. It's not someone sitting there, but it just is automated. If you're going to put a picture like this,
I think she has every right to do that. She has every right to tell people that this is the kind of abuse I'm getting. And if they don't understand, to give them visual proof.
Shock therapy.
I think, yes, it's called shock therapy and it usually works.
It did really shock.
Yeah, but I think it's fine.
So now coming to the Salman who's come, Bin Salman. Now,
MBS.
I know this MBS. First I was saying, who's MBS? Then so he's got this Mohammed bin Salman is MBS. One is, what option does a prime minister of a country have then to greet the guy? I mean, I don't understand. Don't smile, don't hug him. what do you do? I mean, it's Saudi
उसको
Arabia.
जाने की ज़रूरत नहीं थी.
I mean,
That
as
was
long
the whole
as
thing.
solar energy replaces oil, that guy's one of the most important people on earth. So you got to fucking. What do you think? What's the criticism about how he has been treated? And could we have?
No, you see, according to reports, India made a point that he has to spend a night outside Pakistan before he comes.
He can't
to
come straight from Pakistan. Correct.
Pakistan. That is the thing that Clintons and Obamas did. That from India and Delhi direct to Islamabad and Islamabad to you will be not allowed that. It would send a wrong signal.
But isn't that silly? What difference does it make?
For
most, it is Islamabad se aa raha hai.
In diplomacy, symbolism matters.
It's very stupid symbolism.
Saudi
quite ridiculous. But one of those silly diplomatic
I
things.
think diplomacy, I mean, it won't go with the public. I mean, public have seen this guy giving $20 billion to Islamabad. उसके बाद आके मोदी उसको गले लगा रहा है, तो who is?
Now, it is not that India is also India means the West Asia is now a very confusing security zone, and it's not in that only India needs. Mr. Salman Biuddin, what is his name?
Mohammed bin Salman.
MBS support.
America needs support.
So they need it also. India is emerging as the one largest wild importers. They need it. They need India. They need India to compete with other wild exporting South Asian nations. So it is not just India take. India has to offer a lot to them also. I think in national, it is if you go through the joint statement, it's the best midway statement that could have been worked out in the current situation.
Has any views on this, Kaveree?
No, I think for once, I think that the Prime Minister had no choice but to, greet him the way he had. I mean, I think no power on earth currently is in a position to counter MBS. He is perhaps one of the most powerful leaders in the world, and you've seen how even Donald Trump has to actually not call out the Saudi government on the Khashoggi case. So I think here India was just playing its part in world politics. It
but that's
really
what
had no
really
choice.
I mean, the hollowness of this terror, anti-terror, whatever. Both Trump and Modi have risen on like an anti-Islamization, anti-radicalization,
but
Wahhabism.
They can't do jack about it.
But when this guy comes, both of them are licking his ass.
Which is the fountainhead of Wahhabism.
And the problem in Kashmir now today is, and a lot of people talk about that, it's no longer independent or whatever, it's Islamization, it's radical Islam, it's Wahhabism.
Yeah, but if you cannot deal with that internally, there's no point making a big deal and about not going to receive him at the airport.
I think what Manisha is saying is that there's a hollowness when that was the entire plank of rising to power was
anti-Islamic.
It's just a dog whistle for Muslims
Islam,
within. That's
but when
all.
you have a chance to confront it, you
look at Trump's careless response to the attack. I mean, the fact that he didn't even tweet about it.
And he said it's a mess or something like
that.
Yeah,
I mean,
and he said what Sidhu said. Bichara Sidhu.
Exactly.
He also said it'll be great if India and Pakistan become friends.
No, he says it'll be great in India if India and Pakistan get along.
Yeah.
Not even become friends.
Yeah.
So the fact that he didn't even tweet about it shows you that it's not important enough. And he issues a statement because he's asked a question at a press conference. So you find this kind of double standard everywhere, and it happens specifically when you deal with a power like China or you deal with a power like Saudi Arabia.
सुन लिया अफ्रीका मुफत खोरों. Not to brag or anything, but News Laundry Hafta features in the top 50 in the world on SoundCloud in the news and politics category for podcasts. So do subscribe and see what you're missing, because when the public pays, the public is served. When advertisers pay, advertisers are served. Subscribe, help keep news independent and free.
All News Laundry podcasts are available on iTunes and Stitcher and any other podcast platform.